Good morning, reveiw. It's Smeagol4 here again, and I am here today to review the character that kicked the butt of our former administrator and current Bionicle webmaster, Binkmeister, ackar. It's apparently very fire-themed. The newest red canister set in the newest wave of summer canister sets, the Glatorian Legends. This being a set review, I'm not going to focus so much on the storyline aspects of this character, which is good because I haven't really been following it as of late. Been too busy. But as for a set, let's, as usual, start with the box. The canister's pretty appealing looking. It's very large, kind of on the level of like the Anika canisters and everything that we've had since then. Certainly a far cry from the old day when we had little canisters that were about this big in 2001, but this certainly can grab your attention much more in the store. The only thing I can really notice about the can is that it's a pop top, which saddens me because I prefer the screw tops. I think the pop tops are annoying, but no big deal. So let's open it up and see what's inside. And this will take a tool. Hang on. Okay. Okay, you're definitely going to need something to cut the plastic off. Sorry. Because the lid is not just going to come off itself. If you have longer fingernails, then you can probably just use that. I don't, so there we go. Once you remove the plastic, it's easy to just pop it right off. Let's see what's inside. Woo! What's in there? Well, the first thing I notice about this great array of pieces here is that it is classic red, the original Lego red color, and the original orange color. That warms my heart. We haven't seen these colors profusely to set in so long, ever since 2004 when they replaced it with the Oxblood, and they haven't done normal orange really since they introduced the school's yellow sort of color that was on Kitangu. Wow, this is a very, very pleasant surprise, and it's good to have some of the classic colors back, especially since I preferred them anyway, but, so let's see, new and interesting pieces. I mean, there are some things that were released in the winter wave of sets this year, the hands, which I like, despite what Patrick thinks, and, the launcher thing, the spike ball. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be really anything new. This flame piece, which is very cool, sort of a semi-translucent orange. I like that a lot. Harkens back to the original Tahu's fire sword, and that's some great nostalgia for those of us who've been here since the beginning. Really, the only other new thing that I can recognize, brand new thing, is this piece right here, which kind of looks like a vahi when it's not attached to anything, doesn't it? And it's shin armor for their legs, which I think is a very welcome addition. Other than that, not much new to peruse, so let's get to the building and see how that is. I'm going to surprise you guys by saying, I actually like this set. I do. I have some complaints about it. Certainly it uses the old Anika body, which, as I've said before in many reviews, is just about the worst torso we've ever been given, and you know, it's paper thin, it looks ridiculous, especially on a warrior type character. I think it looks very silly, and but aside from that, there are so many things done right with the set in comparison to previous canister sets from the past 2 years. I really don't want to let things like that, you know, things that have been around for a while now, override the good things about him. For starters, it actually is thickened a bit by the life counter on the back, which is for a game. Well, I'll get to that in gameplay for a minute. But start off, the proportions are much better on this set than I have it. You know, lately we've been giving very gangly, ape-like proportions where the arms are as long or longer than the legs, which is absolutely silly. Ackar, they're still a bit off. His hands go down to his knees rather than just past his hips like they should. But, you know, his arms are shorter than his legs. They look much more like normal arms. He has much more proper proportions, and that's very good. I really like the look of the shin armor, but my complaint about it is that, wow, it rattles a lot. Look at that. It's not held in place tightly at all. I don't understand why they didn't, instead of using the half axle here, they didn't use the a full axle so that it could stay in place more. I'm sure can get some modifications done, some mocking modifications done to the set that can stabilize that, because that's a design flaw there. And but I like the way it looks when it's motionless, and I'm gonna tinker around and see if I can fix that up later. Another thing I really like, the color scheme. We haven't seen a two-tone color scheme like this really in a long time. We've got red and orange, always looks great together, perfect for fire guys. I don't know why they've been doing red and gray for so long. And there's so little silver, just in the weapons, which is how it should be. Silver should really just be in weapons and armor. We've had a glut of it in Bionicle for so long. I'm very pleased with the appearance of this set. So we've got the two-toned helmet here. That looks very cool, very fire-like. The fire sword, I can't even begin to describe how cool it is. It's like if you gave a shot of steroids to Tahu's original fire sword. Love it. And this is my favorite launcher, well, other than the squids, but that's because I just love the squids. That's just personally. They weren't very good projectiles. But this is the best functioning, best looking, and most useful launcher that LEGO's done. It works pretty well. I've used it before in my Tomb review. See? Shoots about 1 meter. The pieces, it's in 2 pieces. It can break down. You can use it in mocks. You can use it for a bunch of different things. That's good. LEGO's done a launcher right with these guys, and the hands. I've talked about them before. I like them. Certainly, some people don't. They're kind of long. They don't look perfect, but for their purposes, they work. They look good, and it's really nice to have sets with hands. I like that a lot. I do miss the gear-driven functions that we used to have, but like I said, with LEGO doing so many things right with this line in comparison to recent years, I really don't want to complain. As for playability, there's the launcher that I just showed you a second ago, and there's the action figure game, which ties into the launcher. There's a counter on the back that turns. It starts at 5. The instructions on how to play are in the instructions for the set. They're also available online. Basically you line your action figures up and you shoot the launcher and try to hit your opponents, and then the counter goes down every time you get hit until you die. It's a good playability feature. It's something that gives collectability to the figures, because the more you have, the more gameplay is initiated. Kind of like the original Kanoe and collectibles were supposed to do, except without like extra packs to buy. But parents don't have to worry, because the collectability feature is minor. It's not I've got to catch them all kind of thing. So, but it just adds another layer of fun to this line of sets. And anyway, so my verdict. It's certainly not perfect, but it's a huge step up from what we've been getting lately. And so, thumbs up to LEGO. Keep doing it this way. Yeah, keep stepping up, keep moving forward.